Hi everyone! Today we'll be talking about one of my favorite bands, as you may be able to tell by the shirt. We're talking Phoenix. Now I have had the pleasure of listening to their discography all week to come up with the cream of the crop. I'm calling this, Undeniably, the top 10 best Phoenix songs. And just to stir things up a little bit, I'll have my pick for an overrated song at the end. But in the meantime, let's get to the top 10. At number 10, we have Te Amo from the album of the same name. I'm very excited for Phoenix's new album, Alpha Zulu. The singles so far, especially Tonight, featuring Ezra Koenig of Vampire Weekend, have been fantastic. Te Amo is the last album from the band, and that just celebrated its 5th anniversary, so it's been a while since we heard from them. That's a familiar theme to the group though. It took 4 years to make Te Amo following bankrupt. They are very deliberate when it comes to recording. They treated Phoenix like a 9 to 5. They would say for every 7 hours of recorded material, they would come up with 1 minute that would actually end up on the album. They were meticulous. That is a lot of long hours to make 36 minutes. The title track is a multicolored discoteca burner. During the 2015 terrorist attacks, guitarist Christian Mazzalai was trapped in the studio at the time of the lockdown because of the Bataclan theater shootings. He and the band said the national feeling following those tense times led them to want to make Te Amo escapist pop, like a fantastical Italian summer. Thomas Mars sings in English, Spanish, Italian, and French. I love you, te amo, te quiero. But the words hardly matter. You could feel the love in the music. At number 9, we have Countdown from Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. Phoenix had had moderate success before 2009. They had played a world tour that took them across 3 continents and 150 shows. But outside of their native France, they weren't really that well known. Respected by music nerds, loved by Franco-pop fans, but hardly known worldwide. Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix would break them in a big way. Its singles were so ubiquitous, they would be featured in video games, Hollywood productions, and Super Bowl commercials. The stars had a line for the long-running group, and Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix's blend of synth pop and sharp hooks catapulted them to music festival headliners. Countdown is a song that Phoenix would play epic versions of live, bringing down the temperature. Singer Thomas Mars would crawl into the crowd. True, everlasting, that's what you want. True. Hugging those around him in the pit as they sing along. On the record, it's heartsick for the big sun. But then the sadness breaks, and the band rushes into a cathartic, we're the lonesome, yeah. Its epic rush is a celebration of our communal spirit. At number 8, we have Everything is Everything from Alphabetical. Alphabetical is Phoenix's second album, released back in 2004. It's not a bad album by any measure, but it's probably the weakest of their career. The identity in the album is undefined, and it switches haphazardly between genres. While the ideas are interesting, the hooks aren't quite as strong. And considering it's front-loaded with its 2 best songs, it loses some steam over time. but those two songs, they're worth the price of admission. Run 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 has a garage rock feel, with Moog bass bottom that is a heavy rocking staple at their gigs. Everything is even better. Jazzy guitar chords with digital keyboard hits punctuating a carefree dancey beat. The lyrics are ambiguous as ever. Everything is everything. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Basically a jumble of words. But when crooned along the effervescent groove, it enriches the feel so well. It's another example of Phoenix transcending language and communicating to enjoy life while it lasts. At number 7, we have SOS in Bel Air from Bankrupt. The success of Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix was over 10 years and 4 albums into their career. It was well earned, but the group didn't wear it naturally. Their live shows swelled in size, and they could enthrall large venues, but they didn't want to be known as a greatest hits band. So for their follow-up, they wanted to purposely steer away from the ecstatic pop into a more experimental direction. Ever the perfectionist, it would take them 4 years for them to make Bankrupt. While it does have some slower, moodier tracks, it isn't that far removed from their previous album. SOS in Bel Air is a hot-blooded victory lap, with the protagonist living among the Hollywood Hills and yearning for escape from the elite. Put my name on your list, SOS in Bel Air. He sings out signal flares, and with that, the tempo races with propulsive drumming, shiny synths, and shimmering guitars. It's the perfect soundtrack to a great escape. At number 6, we have 1901 from Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. 1901 is the song that transformed Phoenix from a fringe French indie band into stadium headliners. Its brilliance wasn't immediately evident. According to the group, they played the song for several record executives who were not impressed and suggested it was more of an album cut. They couldn't be more wrong. The song was released as a free download on the band's website, but was then so buzzed about that it was re-released as a physical single. It would be the first Phoenix song to reach the charts in the US. It went to number 1 on the US Alternative Songs chart. They played this smash hit all across TV land, on Saturday Night Live, David Letterman, and during that short period of time where Conan O'Brien hosted The Tonight Show. 1901 is joyous synth pop that radiates excitement. The chiming electric guitars ring out in the upper frets, and the bass and synth trade off with buzzing hold notes. The 4 on the floor beat is insistent, and the lyrics are urgent and immediate. Past and present, they don't matter now, the future's sorted out. Somehow, dreaming of Paris in 1901, the band channeled the zeitgeist and made their biggest hit. At number 5, we have If I Ever Feel Better from United. Phoenix began as a garage band, playing at the parents' house of Thomas Mars in the suburbs of Paris in the 1990s. At first, it was a trio of him, bassist Dec D'Arcy, and guitarist Christian Mazzalai, 2 of his grade school friends. Later, Mazzalai's older brother, Laurent Bronkowitz, would also join on guitar, after the dissolution of his former band, Darlin', which included both members of Daft Punk. This foursome has been the core of the group to this day. They self-released their first single in 1997. The A-side is punk rock, and the B-side is krautrock. They showed from the very start their eclectic taste. Shortly after, they would sign a record deal with Source Records, and they would release their debut album, United, in 2000. If I Ever Feel Better was the third single, and of their early material, it's one of the most fine-tuned and lively tracks, and it would foreshadow the direction the young group would venture. The song rides a live wire disco groove, with twinkling guitars and bumping bass, and the vocals deftly move between the quasi-raps of the verse and the cool crooning of the chorus. Early on, the band had an exciting sound brewing. If I Ever Feel Better was the Saturday Night Fever for the new millennium. At number 4, we have Lasso from Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. While for the general public, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix came out of the blue, clearly Phoenix had been putting in the work for years. The album was the culmination of focused sessions, tinkering with setlist, and improving as songwriters. Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix even won a Grammy for Best Alternative Album. It's their finest effort. All 10 songs are memorable and complement each other to elevate the collection. The group used Brian Eno's famous oblique strategy cards for creative thinking during the recording, and it seems to have fostered an incredibly open environment. The songs are bursting with intricate, tasteful flourishes. Lasso was the third single released. While not the world-conquering hits that 1901 and Listomania were, it's every bit as captivating and catchy. Over a spirited rhythm, the lyrics are personal, yet easy to identify with. Could you run into, could you run into, could you go and run into me? The song is also one of their more traditional rock songs, featuring a nicely melodic guitar solo. Forever is a long, long time when you lost your way. And Phoenix knew what that moment was for, harnessing youth and grand ambition. At number 3, we have Trying to Be Cool from Bankrupt. One of the big press stories surrounding Bankrupt was that Phoenix had bought the console that was used on Michael Jackson's Thriller off of eBay in order to record this album. That seemed a little unnecessary. Maybe not trying to be cool, but definitely trying too hard. That's the ensemble's MO. Spending years between albums, painstakingly working on their next collection of songs to make sure the songs sound incredible on album and equally impressive live. Mars would say we're perfectionist in the way we make an album. We know it's gonna last. But when that record's done, it's all about imperfection. It's all about playing it live. Trying to Be Cool has a neat, inventive music video, directed by the collective Canada, and has a surprise every 20 seconds. It features monkeys, motorcycles, and wardrobe changes. The song itself plays in its near entirety, and at the end, it morphs into the second part of Draca Noir off the same album. It's an amazing upgrade, taking the already killer synthy strut and launching into an ecstatic, rocking fireworks crescendo. They liked the medley so much, they started playing it like that live. It shows that even after release, the group would alter their work if it could be improved. Trying to Be Cool was already one of their best, and some fanatic attitude led them to unlock another level. At number 2, we have Long Distance Call from It's Never Been Like That. Following the freewheeling grab bag nature of Alphabetical, Phoenix's third album, It's Never Been Like That, is a more streamlined affair, embracing a straightforward guitar rock approach. As they both released their debuts close to the dawn of the millennium, the band was often compared with their US contemporaries, The Strokes. But outside of the era, it's not an obvious comparison. Both had intricate guitar work, often with dueling guitars, but Phoenix had previously been the backup band for electronica heavyweights Air, and the band sort of splits the difference between the two groups, with garage rock rawness intertwined with synthetic touches. Long Distance Call is a great example of this unique duality. The clean guitars strum confidently during the verse, and there are drips of vintage synthesizers. It has a calm, laid-back beat that gradually picks up momentum until it erupts into the jubilant chorus of the album's title. It's never been like that, 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 oh! Despite the spirited denials of the chorus, the song never loses its cool and accents it with an audible huh in the pre-chorus. Long Distance Call should have been the song that broke Phoenix onto the world stage. Instead, it was the warm-up to their coming out party, and it's one of their very best. At number 1, we have Listomania from Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. 1901 is the song that put Phoenix on the map, but with all due respect, Listomania, its second single and lead track, is even better. It is relentlessly upbeat. It inspired a popular meme at the time, mashing up the Breakfast Club dancing to the song. And it even went so far that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez filmed a video of her dancing to the song on a rooftop during her college days. Some Republicans thought this was some kind of smear against the Congresswoman, but why would it be? The song is irresistibly fun. Named after the hysteria Franz Liszt inspired back in the 1800s when he would whip females into a frenzy during his piano concerts, it's as infectious as a song gets without requiring a Surgeon General's warning. Its spirited guitar shuffle is full of sunshine. Mars writes about writing music. So sentimental, not sentimental, no, romantic, not disgusting. Wrestling with the words to say. Like most Phoenix songs, the words barely matter. The song is so catchy, you'll make up your own words to sing along with. When the chorus starts, the drums drop out. It's only keyboards. And it subconsciously amps you up for when the beat kicks back in for the chorus's repetition. It's like a rose-tinted view of fleeting youth, over-eager and full of hope. Like a ride, ah! Listomania is a perfect pop song, and one that could make any day brighter. It's incredible, and Phoenix at their best, from a mess to the masses. And now, I'll add 2 more songs that almost made the list. The first is Consolation Prizes from It's Never Been Like That. Instrumentation and arrangement-wise, it's one of the most conventional guitar rockers from Phoenix. The youthful energy is irresistible, and it positively swings, with a double guitar jangle and awesome little riffs thrown in to mix it up. It's seemingly simple guitar pop that feels punk rock rambunctious. The other near miss is Fences from Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. That album is so good that nearly every track could have an argument for being in the top 10. It's the danciest song on that record. It rides a circular groove with a vicious guitar riff, breathy falsetto vocals, and washes of synthesizers. It's definitely worth mentioning among their best. Finally, I'll share my pick for the most overrated song from the band. And for that, I'll talk about Entertainment from Bankrupt. Now, I want to be clear that saying a song is overrated is not the same as outright disliking a song. If it came up on a playlist, I'd still turn up the volume. My main gripe with the song is that it was chosen as the lead single to Bankrupt. As I've already spoken about, Trying to Be Cool and SOS in Bel Air are superior tracks, and I think are more representative of the album. After Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix's runaway success, my guess is they wanted to lead with the most bombastic, festival-ready single. Entertainment is that. But when it comes to enduring hooks, I don't think it's quite as sharp as those other two singles. Its Asian-inspired string melody is a little cheeky, bordering on cheesy, and echoing it vocally during the bridge doesn't make it any more endearing. Again, it's not bad at all. And as a live song, it delivers the awesome dynamics that Phoenix is known for. I just wouldn't have picked it to introduce the stellar album that is Bankrupt. And in terms of sheer views on YouTube, it seems a bit overrated to me. As you're still watching, I wanted to share a deep cut as well. And for that, I choose Monologue, a non-album single that was recorded during the Te Amo sessions. It was released as a Record Day exclusive on nifty, heart-shaped